Hey, what's good? Today, fellas, we're jumping into my top 5 modern warfare weapons y'all should be using in Warzone. And these are going to be some of the highest picks, best used, highest KD weapons out there that you guys should be using. I'm not going to give you guys some random shenanigans. These are going to be the best modern warfare weapons out there, of course, with the most meta builds. I think y'all are going to love today's video, but real quick, want to shout out the Noti Gang. If you guys want to be featured in a future video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one, subscribe, on the notifications turned on, comment down in the comment section below Noti Gang, and be sure to watch the video all the way through. With that being said, let's hop into these setups for you guys to use here in Warzone. Okay, so hopping into our first thing here, we're going to be using the Modern Warfare Car 98K. Of course, this whole video is going to be Modern Warfare. I don't really know why I just said that, but anyways, I also switched up the face cam placement since a lot of y'all out there were getting at me about, you know, my face cam covering the stock attachment. So I'm listening to you. I'm listening. Anyways, the Modern Warfare Car 98K is unbelievably good. It's probably like the top tier sniper out there. I mean, it's been good for so long. People love that between this, the K-Swiss 31, some other stuff. I mean, it's just really good. So let's hop into a meta build for this thing that y'all are gonna absolutely love. Okay, so let's hop into this here. First thing on this is gonna be the muzzle category. We're gonna be throwing on the monolithic suppressor here for sound suppression and damage range. Absolutely love this thing. The monolithic suppressor is just so much better than the tactical or the lightweight. For every single Modern Warfare weapon, you should always be running the monolithic. There's just kind of no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You should always be running that. Next up, we're skipping the barrel section, going straight to the laser section. That's going to be the TAC laser here for increased ADS speed, aiming stability, and aim walking steadiness. This is going to make us a little bit more agile, a little bit more mobile, and I love being agile and just very aggressive with all of my builds here. No matter like what gun it is, I like being aggressive, and the sniping is like no different. So that's the reason we got the Car 98K here with this laser. After that, we have, of course, in the optic section, the sniper scope. I mean, it is indeed a sniper. You need a sniper scope on this thing. So this is kind of a little bit, I feel like, you know, a given. And also, by the way, this is like an old CDL camo for those of you guys that are going to be probably asking in the comment section. You cannot get this one anymore, but I just want to put that out there. After that, though, we are going to be going down into the rear grip section here, and we're going to be using the stippled grip tape here for ADS speed and sprint to fire speed. All this does is negatively impact your aiming stability ever so slightly. It's not going to be that big of a deal, and I would recommend you guys to use the stippled grip tape here, especially if you're trying to be an aggressive sniper. And then after that, and for our last thing, we're gonna go for a perk, and that's gonna be sleight of hand. As you guys know, the Car 98 reloads pretty much one round at a time. It's not like it's a magazine reload or something like that. So if you guys also, by the way, if you don't want to run sleight of hand, you can actually take this off and run something like a barrel, like the Stingard Arms 27.6, and that's going to be the way to go for that one. But if you do not want to run a barrel and you're playing Rebirth Island or something like that, and you're not like Caldera, then you should go down here and into the perk section and put on sleight of hand, and that's a really, really good aggressive build for the Car 98K. I absolutely love this thing. Hope y'all enjoy this build. This is a really, really solid gun, and it's definitely my go-to sniper for like every single engagement in Warzone. Absolutely love this thing. For our second gun up here today, we're gonna be taking a look at the Modern Warfare Growl. This thing is incredible. It's an absolute laser beam. It's got virtually no recoil. You guys can build this thing out to be very solid for like a medium range build. You can build it out for a really solid long range build. I'll give you guys a couple different variations here within this specific setup, but it's unbelievably good, and you really don't have to change too much on it. I mean, it's just kind of like one build fits all for like all situations. So let's hop in this thing here. So this is gonna be the Wolf Mother variant here, which is incredible, by the way. First thing on here is gonna be the monolithic suppressor, sound suppression, damage range. Of course, this is gonna be the suppressor. You know, this is the way to go. Like I said, for the previous thing, the Car 98K, you always want to use the mono. Stay away from the lightweight, stay away from the tactical. But I should put out there that if you guys do not have it leveled up all the way to the mono, then just run something like the tactical, because the lightweight's gonna decrease your damage range, and you definitely do not want that. After that, in the barrel section, we have the Tempest 26.4 Archangel. You have to run this on this gun. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I've had people try to tell me that maybe the Nexus barrel is pretty good because it does everything the Archangel barrel does, but less of it. And I'll tell you what, I mean, there's a reason that we do not run the Nexus barrel. It's because it does less of everything. And also the iron sights, like apart from getting more of all those benefits, the iron sights on this are incredible. So you definitely should always, 7 days a week, be running the Archangel barrel. Don't listen to people who are going to try to tell you to use the Nexus. It's not worth it. Don't do it. I've been using this for a long time, and I'm a good Warzone player. I know what I'm talking about here. After that, in the laser section, though, we have the TAC laser, aiming down sight speed, aiming stability, and aim walking steadiness. Gotta love this thing here. It's really solid for just overall increasing like your mobility, and of course the stability your gun has. It's gonna make it feel like more of a laser beam, and of course help you with, you know, aiming down sights faster. That's just, you know, kind of awesome. It's like a nice little 2-for-1 benefit right there. After that, though, in the underbarrel section, we're gonna go down here to the Commando foregrip. The Commando foregrip is very simple, very easy to use. I mean, you're not going to slow yourself down too much. Any of these other options in here is pretty much going to slow you down unnecessarily, so I'd recommend staying away from that. And then to finish out our build here for the Growl, we're going to be using the 60-round magazine, because I'm a 60-round magazine kind of guy, you know what I'm saying? But you could definitely get away with running the 50. It's just, I mean, Well, the 60's got 10 extra rounds, and on this variant in specific, it's got a beautiful, nice little red magazine, and I like that. So I've been going around with the 60, and I mean, it really just kind of comes down to personal preference. Like, it's not like it's make or break. This is just really like, what do you feel like using? But this is my full build here for the Grau 5.56. By the way, this Wolf Mother variant has like all these attachments on it, so you could literally buy the variant and have this exact build, which is super sick. I just don't know if you guys can buy it still, but definitely would recommend the Grau 5.56. This thing is a tank of a weapon. Y'all should definitely be using. Okay, so for our next gun up here, we're gonna be taking a look at the tried and true M13. We gotta love the M13. Super high fire rate, very minimal recoil. It hits pretty dang hard, and I mean, it just overall feels good in the hands. It feels satisfying to use, and that's definitely a thing. When you have like that satisfaction when using a weapon in Warzone, it just kind of makes it more fun to use. So the M13 is definitely one of those guns where you can just laser people, get all those beautiful hit markers, and you can down them very quickly. So let's just give you guys a build for this thing. This will be a great medium-ish range gun, not so much for long range, but medium-ish range for sure. So let's hop into this here. So first thing on this here is gonna be the mono suppressor. Obviously, you guys know what I'm saying. Like, we've been going over this here a few times. We're not going to spend too much time on it. After that, in the barrel section, we got the Tempest Marksman. This is the largest barrel possible. Same with the Grau. We had the Archangel. This has the Marksman barrel. So I'd recommend for you guys to always run the Marksman barrel. There's no reason for you to use the Tempest Cyclone. I tried to use this for when I made, you know, a Honey Badger build, but it's not like it's, you know, meta by any means, right? That's just kind of like a for fun build. But then we have the Tempest Marksman here, of course. This is going to be the way to go. After that, in the underbarrel section, the Commando foregrip. You don't need anything else other than this. I mean, pretty much anything else is just going to slow you down way too much. It's not going to be necessary. I mean, if you really want to get a little crazy with it, you can maybe run something like the Ranger foregrip, especially if you're going to be running the sight. I do, but if you're going to be running like a larger sight, like maybe a VLK 3 times, would not recommend this just because like your gun's going to be slow. I mean, it's like slow as molasses. We ain't trying to do that. So the Commando is just going to be the way to go for pretty much like most guns out there. That's that magazine section. Y'all already know, you know what I'm saying. 60 round magazine, 60 round magazine kind of guides what I do. And that's just kind of the way to go for it here. I mean, also stay away from these blackout rounds. I made this, you know, I use these in the Honey Badger video, but do not recommend these for like a meta build at all. It's not viable. So just use the 60 or 50 if you feel like you want to get a bit adventurous and have a little bit more mobility. It's kind of up to you at this point. I mean, this is one of those categories besides, you know, like using one of these like weird ammunition types that it is literally personal preference. Maybe besides the kilo, though, that 100 round drum is disgusting. Don't use that ever. After that, though, in the optics section, to finish out this build here, we have the PBX Hollow 7 sight for precision sight picture. Hey, whatever that means. Basically, this is just a really good hollow sight. I mean, you can use either the PBX Hollow 7 or if you really want to use something like maybe the Corp Combat Hollow sight. They both basically do the same thing, except the PBX looks a little bit cooler. I'm not gonna lie, it's literally just a visual difference at this point. So the Corp Combat looks great. I mean, the PBX looks great. And if you want to swap this out here, basically make this a little bit more of a range build, throw in the VLK 3 times optic, and you can leave every single other attachment the exact same. That's the beauty of running a setup like this, is that you can just do that. So that's going to be my full setup here on this gun. Hope y'all enjoy this one. Love the M13. This thing's an absolute unit. It destroys people out there on, you know, Caldera, on Rebirth. It does not matter. It wins. Next up for our fourth gun here on this top 5, we're going to be taking a look at the MP7. This thing, a lot of people really like right now in Warzone. It gets picked up a lot, and that's because, I mean, it's got a great damage profile. It's not gonna be the fastest killing thing out there, but it's also got pretty much like some of the most manageable recoil for an SMG, like pretty much ever. So you guys can use this and have great success so that it's going to perform consistently at all different instances, and that's the reason a lot of people love it. Also, this variant looks pretty cool. Nice little centipede, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool. So let's give you guys a setup for this thing that's going to allow you to really dominate zone. And it's not going to be something I use all the time because I use a more higher mobility one, but I know a lot of people out there don't like some of the higher mobility builds because it adds more recoil to it. So let's give you guys one that's going to have virtually no recoil and be very easy to manage and use and still have great mobility. So right in here, first thing, mono suppressor. You guys know the deal already. I'm not going to explain this one. At that in the barrel section, we got the FSS Recon here, damage range, bullet velocity, recoil control. This is just kind of how it is. We absolutely love our FSS Recon. It's just really solid. And I would not recommend using the SWAT or the strike barrel. I never use it no matter what. Just always the Recon barrel. At that in the underbarrel section, we got the Commando foregrip here. You guys can use this, or if you want to have a little bit more hipfire accuracy at the expense of a little bit of ADS speed, the Merc foregrip's going to work out really nice as well. So it just kind of depends. I mean, do you want to hipfire more with this thing? Use the Merc foregrip. If you want to ADS more, use the Commando if you're not really too worried about it. I mean, you have great hipfire accuracy either way, but the Merc foregrip will accentuate that benefit. So this is kind of one of those things, a little personal preference right there. After that, the magazine section, we have the 60 round magazine. I mean, I'm not going to repeat this for a third time, but you guys know what I'm about to say. But either way, it's the 60 round mag or the 50 round. A little bit, you know, you can choose between the two. It's not going to make or break, but you know, if you want to have a little bit more mobility, the 50 round is really good. I've used either or plenty of times, and it comes down to like, what am I feeling like using that day? Like, do I want 50, I'm trying to be a little bit crazy with it, or 60 because I want to have a little bit more rounds to dispense down range? Just, you know, what do you feel like doing? After that, though, in the rear grip section, we have the stipple grip tape here to finish this build off. ADS, speed, sprint, and fire. I mean, you gotta love this thing. It really doesn't impact your aiming stability whatsoever. You ain't gonna notice it. I mean, this thing's an absolute laser beam. We have enough attachments on here that just counteracts every single, like, you know, negative trait the stipple grip tape could ever give you. So, I mean, that's really that. This is my full build here for the MP7. It's a great variant, great build, super low recoil, great TTK. Y'all gonna love this one. Now for a final gun, I'd almost feel a little bit filthy, a little bit disgusting if I didn't give you guys an MP5 build here, because this is such a beloved SMG out there in the community. We all love the MP5 here. I mean, so let's give you guys a good build for this thing, because this thing is an absolute truck and it hits pretty hard, and also the hipfire on it's a little bit disgusting. So let's hop into it. First thing on here, no muzzle, because we're using the barrel, which is gonna be the monolithic integral. There's no reason y'all should be using literally any other barrel in here. Like, don't ever use the FSS light, the mini, the subsonic integral. I mean, this is a whole bunch of shenanigans. Y'all only should ever use the monolithic integral. That's it. Don't ever use anything else. It's not worth it. After that, in the underbarrel section, the Merc foregrip, recoil control and hipfire accuracy. Okay, this is gonna boost the incredible hipfire accuracy that this gun has, and I would really recommend it. Also, this gun kind of would bounce around a tad if you guys did not have this, so I'd recommend running the Merc foregrip. After that, in the magazine, we're going to be running the 45 round magazine over the 10mm auto 30. I know this does increase your damage and your range, but it's not worth it, because I mean, 30 rounds in Warzone ain't gonna cut it. I mean, maybe if you play solos, something like that, maybe. But to be honest, I'd only ever run the 45, and I just don't feel the benefit anymore. Like, you know, we maybe ran this way back on like OG Verdansk, like way back, but pre-Verdansk 84 even, but definitely not for a very long time. So stay away from that. Run the 45 round magazine on this thing. After that, though, in the stock section, we have the FTAC collapsible. This is gonna help with our movement speed and ADS speed. It's gonna make you an absolute, you know, just flying unit. You're gonna be skating around, you know, on skates, on ice. I don't really know what I'm saying right now, but anyways, you're gonna be skating around. It's gonna make you real fast, and so we love the FTAC collapsible. That's the reason I use this always. And then for our last perk here, we're gonna be, our last attachment I should say, but it's gonna be a perk, sleight of hand. I like running sleight of hand on this just because the reload sometimes can be a little bit slow, and also when you're trying to get into those situations, like at least specifically in my case on Rebirth Island, you sometimes need a little bit of sleight of hand action, because you know this would reload a little bit too slow otherwise when I'm trying to, you know, fight a squad. So it's one of those things that I like sleight of hand, though you could definitely build this a little bit different. Maybe take off sleight of hand and put on like a laser, maybe run the 5MW. It's just going to be one of those things, like either use the 5MW or run sleight of hand, kind of up to you. But for me, I'm going to be using sleight of hand. So this is my full build here for the MP5. This is my full top 5 for the Modern Warfare weapons. If you guys enjoyed this, give it a like, subscribe if you're brand new, and just run on Twig app, don't be Randy, and I'm out. Peace.